Hey, what's up everybody? Coach Kyle here. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content. Now, I just finished watching the Breaking 2 documentary. It's free on YouTube. It's 55 minutes, and it's a National Geographic TV documentary on the Breaking 2 project. And as I was watching it, I wrote down 7 things that I learned or felt or noticed from watching the documentary. And if you're not familiar with it, but you probably are, this was an attempt by mainly Nike to break the 2-hour marathon barrier. So, 7 things that I wrote down. Number 1 is that use disappointment as motivation. They did a 2-hour, no, they did a half marathon test run leading up to the full marathon attempt. And 2 of the athletes hit goal pace of a 60-minute half marathon, but one of them came in almost 3 minutes slow. That's a lot for somebody looking to run a 60-minute half marathon. But luckily, Lalisa really used that disappointing run as motivation to train better, to focus more, and he took it more seriously after this disappointing time trial. Number 2, specific training. These guys, running in general is a sport of specificity. You don't get better by running by doing the elliptical. If you want to run a fast 5K, you need to do workouts at 5K pace. If you want to do a marathon, you need to do long runs. You need to do marathon goal pace running. And it talked a lot about this type of training, about specificity in the documentary. And with the athletes I coach, with myself, we focus a lot on goal pace. This is specific endurance. I wrote down, to do what you've not done, you need to do that which you don't do. And they revamped the training of a few of these guys to optimally tune it for the specific goal at hand. And even another point I wrote down is that even the elites, these 3 that are the best of the best, their training wasn't perfect and there was changes to be made. And that's point 3, is that not everybody's perfect, but you can view it, you can look at it, and you can make it better. Number 4, many East African runners are incredibly humble and down-to-earth people. If you've read Running with the Kenyans, you would have also noticed this in that book. But they talked about Kipchoge, who has won 7, now 8 of the 9 marathons that he has entered. He's got to be a multi-millionaire. And he still lives in this little house. He runs at this camp. He's cooking, and he's doing the chores, and he's hanging out with the other runners who have not done anything like substantial. They're there hoping to get their break. And this is a guy who is probably the greatest of all time, and he's living right alongside these guys who are aspiring to achieve a quarter of what he has. Number 5, leading up to this whole Breaking 2, and even kind of up until watching this video, honestly, I kind of looked at the Breaking 2 attempt as a giant marketing ploy by Nike, and I kind of looked down upon it as a ploy. But that might be true. Nike is a marketing company that happens to sell shoes and apparel. But through the almost unlimited money that Nike has, they were able to give the individuals, the runners, the scientists, everybody involved, every individual involved, cared deeply for this project. It was a huge team effort. And yes, it was a giant marketing ploy, but for everybody involved, it was extremely personal, and it was their passion coming down to a 2-hour period of time. Oh, let's see. Next, I knew how it ended, but it was still incredibly exciting. Like, seriously, you should watch this documentary. I opened it. It's right there. But seriously, like, I know how it ends, and it was still like, I was like on the edge of my seat the entire time during the last 5 minutes during the run. Super well done documentary. Definitely recommend watching it. Let's see. I mentioned even the best in the world aren't perfect. Their training, their diets, there was little things that they could tweak. Even though this was these were 3 of the greatest marathoners ever, there were still improvements to be made. And it took that outside eye of these scientists to notice it. And last, the guy that ran 2 hours 25 seconds for the marathon is the greatest of all time. He's a BAMF. He's a badass motherfucker. Like, he is calm, he's cool, he's humble, and he definitely deserves the title of greatest of all time. Incredible athlete, Kipchoge. But as I said, definitely watch the video. Even if you have no interest in marathon world records or running a fast marathon, it's still, if you have any interest in running whatsoever, you'll enjoy it. And yeah, just Google Breaking 2 documentary special. It's National Geographic, and let me know what you think in the comments below. If you've seen it, what did you really take away from the documentary?